Welcome to the first video for Sunshine Coast Football Club Academy programme, which encompasses the full-time programme at Peregian Beach College and also the part-time programme, which is for the players that don't attend the private school at Peregian Beach. I want to give you an insight into what we do, and this has been on the cards for a long time. We've had a bit of filming done for some documentaries, but I think it's important with the way YouTube's gone to get the message out quicker and actually share what happens on a day-to-day basis within our football club, in particular the full-time academy at Peregian Beach College. And also give you an insight on how we arrived at this point and the journey I encountered to get us to this point as well. So I also want to use this platform to share with the people viewing these videos what we do on the football field, the way we do it. There's a lot of football clubs that don't do that, very protective or overprotective of their technical program, etc. But if we truly are looking to develop the game in this country, which is Australia, then we have to start sharing these resources. So I do hope it does serve to be a valuable tool for people to observe. There will be opportunities to make comments in these videos. We are new to it. It's very new to me. I'm not active on social media in terms of Facebook. I stay out the way of that. The club have a big Facebook account, which we do post a lot of stuff on, of course. We have Instagram and Twitter, which, again, we have media people that are very active and keep everybody up to speed on what we're doing with the club operations. So, how did all this sort of come about? Well, I got approached from the managing director and the owner of this football club in around about July 2014, which is when I returned back from a short stint in Melbourne. And I won't go into too much detail with the Melbourne exercise, apart from I did do a little bit of coaching work in Melbourne. That didn't work out. So for various reasons, the main one was the visa issue. So any football coach who's watching this that is not in Australia, maybe in the UK or other countries, make sure you do your homework on the visas, because you can come unstuck, and I did. So, and I feel it's important to share this type of information in our industry to make sure that people don't fall down the same trap as I did. So back to how all this came about was I had a mutual friend, I should say, in far north Queensland, and he knew that I'd been out to Melbourne, didn't quite work out, back in the UK, and it was looking likely I was going to be staying back in the UK, and actually got myself organised with another couple of reasonable jobs at good level. So I spoke to Noel Woodall, who's the managing director of Sunshine Coast Football Club, and is the owner of the football club. He set the club up. He actually built the private school where I am sitting today doing this video for you guys. And it's quite a unique story, actually, and it was something that really appealed to me, and I knew it was going to be a bit of a journey. And I've spent a lot of time in football, 22 and a half years, nearly 23 years plus full-time, working at different levels, different organisations, professional clubs, community associations. And I think every coach that's probably watching this has actually been through similar journeys. And if you're a new aspiring coach, you have to serve that apprenticeship. You have to go through these types of journeys to actually get you to where you are today. So I joined the club in October 2014, flew out to Brisbane. Never been to the Sunshine Coast before, only been to Queensland once, which is up in Cairns, and didn't know anybody. I hadn't even met the owner. I'd spoke to him a couple of times on the phone, and everything he said he would do and promised, he did and more. So that tells you straight away that you're dealing with an individual and a family that really do care about people and the way they operate. So that was the thing that appealed to me, because if I'm settled and my family are settled, that means I can execute my job properly. So from 2014, which is nearly Christmas time, I had to stage a couple of meetings with members of staff and players, and do a little bit of training with seniors and find out about the football club. So coming into training, which the start of pre-season was in November 2014, and to find, some of the squads weren't full, they were only half full, some of the staff weren't qualified, beautiful facilities, good people, some not so good people in the football club. And again, this isn't unique to Sunshine Coast Football Club. This is what happens globally. There's people in football clubs that, when somebody takes over, there's always natural attrition, and there's always people that will get moved on. So, me coming into this football club and wielding the axe from day one never happened and wouldn't happen, because I'd be out the door as quick as I came in it. So without knowing anybody or knowing the landscape of Sunshine Coast itself, there's a reason why God gave us 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth, which is watch, listen, and then start to affect change. So it was only through sort of mid 2015 where I look at things and go, this is not quite right. And then I have to put a strategy in place which sits firmly aligned with the owner's vision and way forwards. And the thing they hammered home in the very first meeting when I landed was accountability. We all have to be accountable in life, but in football, accountability is measured as well. And people go, well, as long as you're successful, you're doing all right. It's not really about that. We all want to win. I want to win as much as the next man, and I want to put trophies in the cabinet as much as the next man. But I also want to be involved in an organisation where I enjoy going in. It's really pleasant to be around. It's a good learning environment for the kids. And our members and parents and spectators actually want to come and watch what's going on. There's an intrigue. And the only way you really do that is have your own people involved in what you're doing, i.e., this youth development programme wasn't set up the way it should have been, albeit in the first year of the National Premier Leagues in 2013, they were very successful, mainly because it was the only club on the Sunshine Coast and they recruited the best kids, because it's brand new. You will always do that. It's the honeymoon period, of course. Then when you actually drill down into the actual logistics and dynamics of how it all works and operates, it's sort of quite alarming. And this again isn't unique to this football club. There's people sat now watching this video will go, yeah, I understand what he's talking about. Individual football clubs within a football club, coaches who see their team, their players, not our team, our players. These are the people that I was looking for in this football club, and they just weren't there. Some were, some weren't. So we have to affect change. And again, it takes 6 months to watch and listen to what's going on and find out exactly where the football club's at. So from that point on, you then start to make a decision on players and make a decision on staff. Who's going to be part of the journey, who's not going to be part of the journey. If they're not going to be part of the journey, then I have to offload them on the bus, the journey that we're on. So we're driving a bus, we're on our way. So inevitably, if I've got disruptive passengers on my bus, I'm going to stop at the next stop and I'm going to offload them. And I'm going to start looking for passengers who are going to be nice and pleasant and make my journey as the driver pleasant. That means I can affect what I need to affect. If I'm constantly stopping the bus and dealing with problems, I'm never going to get where I need to be in the time I need to be there. And I said to the owners, this probably takes 3 to 5 years. And I wasn't given a 3 or 5 year contract. I was given a 1 year contract. And I never signed another contract after that. And I wasn't looking for one either. I said to them, this is what's going to happen. And these are the time frames it'll probably happen in. I wasn't trying to buy myself time. And I think I actually said at one stage, I'll be pretty straight with you. If I can't affect change in the time period I've said, which is the 3 to 5 years, you wouldn't need to sack me. I'll walk away. So, and it's a massive job. So this is 2015. Part of the programme here at the football club, the Woodalls built a private school in Parisian Beach. And again, because of my background in setting up programmes in the UK, post-16 programmes, which take footballers who've been discarded by professional football clubs, that appealed to me because I'm thinking, well, it's a blank canvas. I could possibly look to do the same there. So again, I'm not only just finding out about the football club in Sunshine Coast, I'm actually finding out about the private school. So, and there's always a bit of resistance of anything you do. So from sort of 2016, we're looking at how do we bring these young players through our programme. You need a coach at the top who's going to be receptive to that. We know the owners are, and they know the technical director, which is myself, is going to drive this. No good having a youth development programme in any football club if you're not going to utilise it properly, because it's a drain on financial resources, as is the senior men's team. You can spend hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars putting senior players on the football field and winning the $15 trophy at the end of the season. Do you do it with your own young kids? Or do you just go and buy it with external people, external players from other clubs? If you do it with external players from other clubs, don't have a youth development programme, and certainly don't use the funds from the youth development programme to fund that winning the $15 trophy, which doesn't happen at our football club. Or you can sacrifice that, work on the youth development programme and start to develop the kids and get them ready for senior football. So you plough your money and your finance into your youth development programme, which is exactly what we did. There's always a trade-off in return in life and in football. The trade-off is be prepared to get beat heavy and possibly get relegated. But the return is going to be, we are going to blood our best young players and they're going to play senior football, because at some stage they're not always going to be young players, which is exactly what's happening today on the 11th of January 2022. So as the MPL sort of moved along, the governing body decided to bring in a league underneath, the Football Queensland Premier League, which is great. Connects the systems together, and then started to bring in promotion and relegation. And I supported promotion and relegation right from the offset. Went in the media, totally support it. Teams that are not doing well on the football pitch, well, there has to be some ramification. So we got relegated. That's what happened. And we knew the likelihood is, with what we were doing, we would be relegated. Albeit the owners did still pay money out for the senior players. Some of them were paid quite handsomely, not at the tune that he used to pay out, at the detriment of the juniors. The juniors are the base and the platform for this football club. The seniors are the glory of the football club. So it's the poetry. So that's where we arrived with how we came about with our programme, which is quite unique. And I've been quite adamant in social media when I've spoke to people and in the media about our operation as it is today. People ask me about our Fulltime Academy programme. As we speak, I still believe it is the only full-time football programme that mirrors exactly what happens in Europe, in the UK, where I'm from, on a daily basis. We train 16 hours a week. We have 3 contacts a day, and they do academic programme alongside, which we don't cut corners on, and we're not allowed to. You know, the principal of the college is quite hot on my heels to make sure that our players are adhering to their academic standards, which means if they're not doing it in the classroom, then they won't be coming out on the football pitch. So how did we get to this point in our football club? So there was a change at the top of the school, which helped to bring on board the full-time program. So we have a principal now who fully supports what we do, loves what we do, as long as it doesn't impinge on his academic program, which it doesn't, and he lets us get on with it. So right in the middle of the pandemic, which was July 2020, we actually launched it in February 2020, and people thought we were balmy doing so. And we were sort of looking at each other going, I wonder how many players from our youth program would actually take up the option of coming to this private school, our private school, and be coached full-time by myself and another full-time coach. And we were looking at each other going, probably about 12 or 16 will be a good number to get it rolling. That was in July. That meeting was February 2020. The actual launch, the start, was July 2020, bang in the middle of the pandemic. So when most schools are cutting back, private schools, and losing students, we were quite the opposite. We had 27 students, full-time footballers, had their private tuition funded, fully funded by the school and the owners of our football club and the Woodall Group. And we started. And from 27 students, that very quickly turned into 40 students, 50 students, 70 students. And we're here today on the 11th of January, 2022, still in the pandemic, with 100 plus students, boys and girls, because we launched the girls program in term 3 in 2021, which has also taken off as well. Only because no other football club's doing what we're doing. And we're not inventing or creating something that hasn't already been done in other countries. All I'm doing is taking what I've been used to and my staff have been used to and implementing it in Australia, the Sunshine Coast. And again, pushback, negativity, won't work, it'll never happen. We never oversold it. Undersold it, over-deliver. We have a full-time sports scientist that supports the program, that has worked with international players in Brazil, and is an associate professor that has worked with high-level athletes, including top flight footballers in Brazil and other countries. And what I want to do is share with you how we go about things on a day-to-day basis at the academy, but I also want to share with you the ins and outs of the staff. I want to introduce you to the staff, the delivery football coaching staff here at the academy, the staff at the football club, the sports science program, and where possible, some of the academic members of staff, if they'll enjoy going on camera. Obviously, there's some people who are camera shy. Judging by this, I'm not one of them. But it won't be stage managed. I don't like fabricating or stage managing these types of things where people shot things or cross that ball into the box, didn't work first time, didn't work second time, and on the 8th time it looked perfect. I'm not going to show you that. We'll show you how it happens as it happens. And I think that's really important. We make mistakes. I'm a professional football coach who's been in the industry for 22 and a half, nearly 23 years plus at full time, and have made plenty of mistakes. And I'll continue to make mistakes, but because of my experience, they're very far and few between. Whereas young coaches watching this, hopefully will take a little bit of away of what we've done and the way we do it, and try and implement something similar in a football club where you are. So, where we go from here is I'm going to upload after this a component that I did for Football Coaches Australia. So part of my past life in the UK, I was a coach educator for the Football Association, or a licensed shooter, which obviously I relinquished sort of mid 2013 when I started to look at coming out to Australia. So, and again, that process in April last year was done at the Sunshine Coast Stadium using our boys, and it was under 13s, under 14s, and it wasn't stage managed. They made loads of mistakes, but it's up to us as coaches to try and rectify it, but more importantly, show the people sat in the stand and actually people watching this video that will probably watch, hopefully, what we do, exactly how to rectify it and accept that the kids will make mistakes. If they didn't make mistakes, they wouldn't be at Sunshine Coast Football Club, they'd be at Manchester City. So I hope that gives you an insight of exactly where we're at as an organisation. And I really do want to show you exactly how we operate on a day-to-day basis. And it will be off the cuff. You know, there will be the GoPros going around and the staff will be talking, and we're going to share as much as we possibly can with you. That way you get an understanding of how the football club operates, because we believe by opening the door and letting people see what we do, the good, bad or indifferent, gives people an understanding of that's why parents let their kids go to that programme. We work exceptionally hard. We've just done 10 days full-time residential. So myself and Tom Bateman, who's one of the full-time members of staff and assistant TD, have just spent 10 days sleeping here at the private school. And we have the players coming in, 2 groups at a time, for the duration of the 10 days, to ingrain and instill exactly what we want is a football club. But it also helps with the culture. The kids spend time with each other, they sleep in the same room as each other in their respective age group, they eat the food together, they play table tennis together, they're on the field together, they swim together. It's all about club culture and discipline. If we can get them foundations right, which we have now, the rest of it, if we're allowed to do our job, will take care of itself. And we honestly believe, with the players we've produced in the past and the players we continue to produce, we will be an exciting prospect for the competition moving forwards. So it'll be an exciting journey for you people to watch, and we hope you will enjoy it, and we hope it will be a bit of a blast for you. See things funny, you'll see things where they're serious, but more importantly, it's a learning tool we want to share with you. What I will say is, we want as many people to try and follow this as we possibly can, because it's a journey. So we have been filming, I should say, with a company that we hope to put a documentary together, but obviously the pandemic has slowed that down. So hence the reason why we're using the YouTube platform to keep that momentum going. So hope you enjoyed the insight into this. Certainly not about me as a person. This is about the actual organisation, and it's more importantly about the players, the young players. How do we get these young players through to our top team? And you'll start to see over the next couple of videos in a couple of months some of these young players that are very exciting to watch. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. Any questions, stick them in the comments. I'll try and get to them. If not, I'll handball them to one of the members of staff. I'm kidding. I'll try and answer as many as I possibly can, and I will upload that video at the Sunshine Coast Stadium so you can watch some of the pattern of play work using the under 13s and under 14s.